Welcome to another video. Today we will be making Basquiat watercolor portrait. What this means is that you'll need watercolor paper, watercolors, pastels, scissors, glue, all of which you can find in the A.W.E watercolor kit or the team kit. Basquiat was a very famous contemporary artist. He is what many would call Afro-Latino. His mom was Puerto Rican and his dad was Haitian. And he was trilingual, meaning he spoke English, Spanish, and French. It's important to note that Basquiat was very critical of the establishment of the time. And it's a little ironic that now his works sell for millions of dollars in auctions, especially since he started off as a graffiti artist. There are various things we should notice about Basquiat's art style. The first is that his style is very abstract. Abstract means that while your subject or person may be real, the artist changed it so that the emotions are present, as in to show how the artist feels about that person or thing. The second thing we should notice is that he always uses a lot of symbolism. A symbol is something that takes the place of something else. For example, a heart can take the place of saying I love you. A very important symbol to Basquiat was the crown. Many people think that the crown symbolizes self-worth, but also marginalization, or being without power. When he puts a crown on a person, Basquiat would crown them with a new sense of value. The third thing we should notice is that he likes to add small collections of words that have some sort of meaning to them. For example, in Pollo Frito, we see him use words like asbestos, danger, and peligro. And while those don't have much meaning to us, they do have meaning to the artist. The final thing we should notice is that Basquiat uses a lot of thick, dark outlines, as well as he likes to contrast his colors. So this means that if he has a very light background, the foreground or the head of the person will be very dark. And these are all important things in his art style. Okay, so first we're gonna start by brainstorming. This time I would like you guys to think about the following questions. It could help if you write down your answers. So to start off, what are some of your favorite things? This could include your favorite food, colors, TV shows, cartoon characters, even like memes. The second thing you should think about is what is your favorite aspect about yourself. This doesn't necessarily have to be physical, it could also be your personality or anything like that. The third thing you could think about is what are your favorite feelings to feel, like your favorite emotions to feel. This could guide the mood of your piece. The final question is, think about who you are and why you are important. You may not understand what all these questions are asking you, but it's important to try to understand because your answers, the things you like to do, and the things about yourself are essentially your identity or who you are. These qualities are unique and significant for you, and they are the reason your loved ones care for you so deeply. Once you have all your answers ready, then be ready to turn them into some of your symbols that represent you. Okay, first you're going to need to take some watercolor paper and your favorite or preferred writing utensil. So that could be pastels, markers. I personally like to start off with pastels or crayons. And then we're gonna basically just scribble on your piece of paper to start off. This is gonna be very fun and experimental. So if you're right-handed, try using your left hand to start off. This is a great point to also experiment with what pastels can do with watercolors. So you could start off with pastels and you can see how it kind of works with each other. So for example, some of my favorite things were the sun. I really like cats, so I drew a little cat outline. Also my name is Cat, so I thought it would be a little nod to myself. So just things that might not seem meaningful to you, but they're meaningful to me. So those are things that you should be thinking about in your brainstorming phase. Next, with your watercolors, brush, and water ready, you're going to pick a color that contrasts with the colors of your background and create a big blob that's big enough to fit your face. So you guys can see that I made all my scribbles and my symbols, and then I left a space. And so then you see how here I have all of these green and yellow colors, so they're very light. So then I picked a darker purple to contrast with it, and that's where I left my blob for my face. Now, using your preferred materials, you're going to draw your face pretty brashly again. Remember, it should be pretty abstract. It could be beneficial to you to have a reference picture of yourself or look at yourself in the mirror, but remember, it doesn't have to be very realistic. As you guys can see, I have these two examples of the faces that I made. I prefer to use marker or pastel over it just because it shows up more since it's like so much going on. More is definitely more in this case, so don't be shy and keep adding and adding until you feel like your project is ready to go. So, like always, I hope you guys have a lot of fun with this project, and don't forget to watch our other videos.